All right, we go from the Giants now. Let's talk a little bit about the Eagles because they beat the Rams Sunday in what was solely a second-half effort. Philadelphia trailed 26-7 in the third quarter when Jalen Hurts found his groove and A.J. Brown. Here's Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike with high praise for Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, when he is given the proper amount of time, he can be as surgical with his accuracy, with his ball placement, with his velocity as any quarterback in the NFL. And then, oh, by the way, if he's got to take off and run it on a design quarterback run, he can do that too. He is top 5 and not 5. A quarterback that can have the kind of restraint that he has on a game-to-game basis, that takes on all of the slings and the arrows because stylistically he doesn't play like other elite quarterbacks, but yet just stacks up wins and then can pull this out of the hat in that fashion against that team.
I'll give it to Canty. I've heard you be critical of the Eagles. You've changed your tune a little bit. What do you think about what he has to say about Jalen Hurts?
You know, Shay, I'm old enough to remember being on the First Take set with the one and only Chris Canty, having a major, major disagreement about the talent of one Jalen Hurts. I remember Chris Canty doing a top 10 list of the greatest quarterbacks the game has seen right now. He's like, I don't have Jalen Hurts in the top 10, not me. And I said, now wait 1 minute, what is going on? I'm just glad that Chris Canty has come around to join the rest of us who saw it from day one.
The list is fluid, though, Tamara. The list is fluid. It's fluid. The list is fluid.
What's the matter with you?
You're creating a very, very bad habit for your own peril.
Harold? Wow.
Yes,
That's
because
impressive.
what you do is you like to sit up there and talk about what other people said, like you was sitting here being all quiet. You've said things too. Don't get us get the tapes and roll tapes against you. I'm not talking about this specific subject.
Yeah.
I'm saying you done it 3 times in the first 45 minutes of this show. Now don't let me start calling up clips of stuff that comes out of your mouth.
We can do that.
We can do that. We can do that because there's
because
mounting evidence about some of the stuff.
Here's what I would say
because
to you.
if anybody's got a fluid list, it's you.
Here's what
you
I
got
can
to
say.
do it right.
As somebody,
do it right.
who comes on this show, gives an opinion, and then goes out not just one Sunday, not just one Monday night, but every Sunday, every week, shows my face and covers games. I always have to be accountable to whatever I say on the show.
Right.
So the receipts don't bother me.
No, what I'm saying to you is that I didn't say accountability. What I said is that how you switch positions. Your positions become fluid too. Oh, I said this, but then now as I reflect on it because I was at the game and I saw it and I saw what he did, and now I have to bring this up.
I don't know why buddy thing with Christopher.
All I'm trying to
I
say
don't know
to you
why
is
you
that
trying.
we can do
He
that.
can handle it. This is my friend, and he remembers that moment with his top 10 list
Girl, we go
on
back
this show.
decades. We go back decades. Don't bring up no friendship with Chris. That's new. We go back decades. You can try that you want to. We go back decades. Now, let me get this straight. Let me be very, very clear. Jalen Hurts is a bad brother. Since week 6 of last year, they 19-1. In every game that he has started and finished, he's won 17 straight. And when you look at what he did this past week, I mean, the Los Angeles Rams was busting their you know what. They were just methodically just chopping them down. They went up 26-7. He was horrid in the first half. And what does he do in the second half? What is it, like 17 for 24, 209 yards? Now, obviously, he sat up there and said, let me, A.J. Brown put the Michael Irvin, give me the ball. What again? Give me the ball. And A.J. Brown did what he did. 2 third-down conversions. I mean, I'm looking 3rd and 10, by the way. And I'm just looking at the Philadelphia Eagles led by Jalen Hurts. I'm looking at game 1 to open the season against Dallas, how he was running the football because you wasn't having cats open. I'm looking at him throw the football against the Rams in week 3. I'm reminded of last year when A.J. Brown was on the sideline reading books for motivational purposes during the damn game and all of this stuff. And somehow, some way, Jalen Hurts like, this is what y'all want? Y'all want me to get him the ball?
Yep.
He is one of those dudes that is showing you whatever you need done, he can get done.
Yeah.
So we can look at other guys and say a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Joe Burrow. We can bring Patrick Mahomes. We can bring up talent. But when you mention the word winner, Jalen Hurts is right at the top of the conversation. I mean, one could legitimately argue, first of all, over the last 2 seasons, he's looked better than Patrick Mahomes. dare we say. That's number one. Number two, he beat them on the biggest stage in the Super Bowl.
Didn't just beat.
Okay?
the Eagles
Stomped them, romped them, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm like, when you're talking about winners, it's time to make the case that Jalen Hurts is the first name that should come up because he beat the dude that we designated as the best arguably ever in Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Josh Allen can't beat him yet. Lamar Jackson can't beat him yet in the postseason. And Jalen Hurts stomped him. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And then, oh, by the way, he's beating everybody else. It ain't like he reserved it for Kansas City. 17 straight. Okay? This is what we're talking about here. When we talk about winners, Jalen Hurts right now is number one.
When we talk about the best quarterback in the game, this is the first year that I can remember in quite some time where that title has been fluid. Because for the last 6 or 7 years, that has been Patrick Mahomes. And now, week to week, it's Josh Allen, it's Lamar Jackson, and this dude, Jalen Hurts, deserves to have his name in that conversation. Because I can't remember, Stephen A., the last time I seen a team rattle off 26 unanswered points after giving up 26 unanswered points.
Yes.
I can't remember the last time I seen a Sean McVay team give up a 3-possession lead in the second half of a ball game.
Part of that is how cautious he gets. Sean McVay, I love him, but, I mean, he settles for field goals on too many occasions, and 2 of them got blocked. We don't anticipate that.
But
the transition from 4 of 8 passing for 17 yards in the first half to showing up like he did in the second half.
They had negative passing yards at halftime. And to have the confidence in the second half to execute after having that first half against the same defense is unbelievable. It shows you the sports character of Jalen Hurts and the sports character of that team, which is why I think they can be the third team in the last quarter century to repeat that.
I agree. All right, we got to go. We're up against it here. The Lions with a major state.
Yeah, the Eagles are 3-0, but they need to throw the ball more. Is that an overreaction?
No, it's not. They have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I mean, like, if teams are geared up to stop Saquon Barkley, there is nothing wrong with the Eagles and their Super Bowl MVP quarterback throwing it downfield to these monster receivers. It doesn't all have to be avoid risk, tush push. I mean, people are paying for these tickets and parking and want to be entertained.
That is exactly hate in his heart, right?
I mean, why? It's supposed to be fun.
If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, why would you do a more risky proposition and probably lose more than stay and do less risk and win more? They've won 19 of 20 games, and you want them to change? That is insane.
People are stopping Saquon.
Let me show you. Put it back up, Cindy. Sorry. Let me just explain exactly what it is you're looking at. In their first 5 halves of the season this year, they were winning. Then in the second half of this past game, they needed Jalen Hurts to get it going, and he threw for more yards. He had more 20-yard completions in the second half than he did in the first 150 minutes of the season combined. They scored 26 points in that second half, more than they did in the entire game against Dallas or Kansas City. I guess the point is they're going to win games any way they can. The game is not about style points. It's not about, we're not ranking them in the BCS or anything like that. It's about winning. But what I do wonder about sometimes is they have as good an array of weapons as any team in the National Football League, and they only seem to use them when they absolutely have to.
And I think that's what you saw in the second half was like, hey, you guys are better than the Rams. Like, you definitely could have lost this game. It was kind of a miraculous fluke that you got 2 blocked field goals to win that game. Yeah. And I think I know you feel like you're defending the Eagles, but I think even Eagles fans are watching this like, we're winning, but they're whispering behind. They're like, but can we go ahead and blow teams out like we did last year?
To be clear, they're not whispering anything. They got booed off the field at halftime.
They're not whisperers.
That's fair point. They're an undefeated Super Bowl champion, and they got booed off their own field at halftime of the game on Sunday because it's not easy to. And then they do this, Jeff, and they're spectacular.
Okay, I appreciate how spectacular it was, but let's remember this: the same thing that Detroit faced. The Eagles are facing. This is now the 3rd OC in 3 years. People are going to poach your staff. So now you have Patulli. You're trying to figure it out. And to go ask and these guys know it. They're not going to say it, but they know it. If a team can run the ball effectively and find ways to win, why put yourself in risk? They didn't want to hurt themselves.
That's the thing.
They're 3-0.
But they aren't running the ball effectively.
Well, no. But I'm saying with less risk and the win totals that they're stacking up, you're not just going to go out there and wing it. I'm just telling you.
Why are you paying 2 receivers a combined $57 million a year to block?
Because when you need it, they're there. That's why.
My thing is, to Graz's point, when you have a quarterback that can do, you go out there and you let him do that. Teams that run the ball and you don't risk it is because you don't trust your quarterback to make the right decisions and put the ball in his hands too much. They have a guy who can do that in Jalen Hurts. You come out and you throw the ball a little bit earlier in games when we looked at the first 5 halves, that opens up opportunities for Saquon Barkley. We don't have to wait for him to be shut down to average 2 yards a carry to then start throwing the ball, going no huddle and things like that.
Here, Dan, to me, here's how I would frame this. The conversation sounds silly because they're 3-0 and they've won all these games. But if they don't block both those field goals on Sunday, this conversation feels very different.
If CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop a pass in week 1, I mean, they're good for them. They know how to win games. They can win small margin games. Yes, but that's tough. They did that early in the season in 2023, and then the whole thing fell apart.
They also did it last year and won the whole thing. So they find ways. Yeah,
I think you know this, Jeff, from your days of coaching, you got to create explosive plays.
For sure.
Last year they were creating those plays.